Stanisic through to Díaz. Oh, Díaz, brilliant from Luis Díaz. FC Bayern Munich thought they just needed another winger. But what they really got was a footballer who would rewrite their entire season and possibly pave the way to a new Champions League title. Because the moment Luis Díaz arrived in Munich, something changed at the club. Training took on a new intensity. The defenders immediately noticed that someone different had arrived. The opponents sensed that a problem was coming their way, and the left side, which used to be predictable, suddenly became the most dangerous place on the pitch. This is the incredible truth about how Luis Díaz is elevating Bayern Munich to a level no one expected. Let's take a closer look. When Bayern Munich paid around 75 million euros to Liverpool FC for Luis Díaz in the summer of 2025, it was more than just a transfer. It was a statement. A club that has controlled the Bundesliga for years didn't just want to carry on as before. They wanted to reinvent themselves. Díaz signed a 4-year contract until 2029. And with that, it was already clear. Bayern Munich isn't investing in future prospects, but in immediate world-class quality. What are they looking for? Or rather, who? Speed, creativity, unpredictability. Exactly the qualities that Bayern had sometimes lacked in recent years, despite all their titles. At 28, Díaz comes to Munich at the peak of his career. He is not an experiment, not a risk, and certainly not a stopgap. He is a direct upgrade to every offensive structure Bayern has had so far. And the timing is no coincidence. In the 2025 to 2026 season, it's about more than just national dominance for Bayern Munich. It's about reclaiming the top spot in Europe, and it was precisely for this goal that Luis Díaz was signed. As a key element, as an accelerator, as a player who elevates the entire system, Díaz didn't need any time to settle in. He didn't just make an impact, he exploded onto the scene. Even in the first weeks of the 2025 to 2026 season, his numbers tell a clear story. Over 10 games, 6 goals, 4 assists, and that's across all competitions. In the Bundesliga alone, he regularly sprints at over 30 kilometers per hour, has already racked up more than 600 intense runs, and constantly causes trouble down his left side. And that's crucial. For a winger, such output means far more than just goals or assists. It means that Bayern's attack has gained a completely new dimension. Defenders now have to prepare for everything: his blistering speed, his dribbling at full sprint, his clever runs from the half space, and his ability to finish attacks himself. The first impressions? Exactly what FC Bayern promised. And maybe even more. At Liverpool, Díaz was also brilliant, but often in the shadow of other superstars. In Munich, on the other hand, you see what has always been there: his pure, unadulterated world-class quality. Now the entire football world can finally see it. What sets Luis Díaz apart from other wingers? Let's take a closer look. Speed and directness. Díaz has shown that he can easily outrun fullbacks. He carries the ball forward at tremendous speed, stretches the play wide, and can then either cross or finish himself. Finishing ability. He scores from tight angles with precise curling shots and has quickly earned a reputation as a winger with a killer instinct. Creative link-up. Díaz doesn't just rely on beating his opponent and delivering the ball into the box. He shows his best moments when he cuts inside, combining with midfielders and opening up spaces as a result. This versatility gives Bayern Munich significantly more tactical flexibility. In short, Díaz doesn't just bring more speed to the wing. He is a constant, hard-to-control threat that forces opponents to adjust their entire formation. And that alone elevates Bayern's attacking play to a whole new level. At the start of this season, Luis Díaz has given Bayern moments that decide games. One example of this was a Bundesliga match against Union Berlin. Díaz scored a goal from an almost impossible angle. He jumped into the ball, kept it in play, drew both defenders with him, and then fired the shot into the top corner. He's also shown his quality in the Champions League so far. 3 goals in 4 games, clear facts that prove he can deliver on the European stage as well. These moments are crucial. They don't just win games, they change the entire narrative. FC Bayern now has a player who can make the difference when matches are tight, when defensive lines are disciplined, and when every small advantage counts. And that's exactly what the true meaning is. He elevates the team to a new level. Díaz fits seamlessly into FC Bayern's new, further developed tactical model. Under Vincent Kompany, the club is focusing on a style of play that is highly intense, wide-ranging and dynamic. And for exactly that, Díaz brings three crucial qualities: width, pace when cutting inside, and finishing ability. But his influence goes far beyond that. He forces opponents to stretch, and that's exactly how gaps open up that his teammates can exploit. His presence allows the fullbacks to confidently overlap without jeopardizing defensive stability, because Díaz can always cover with his pace. And his ability to initiate attacks from deep, wide positions makes Bayern extremely dangerous on the counter. Within a few seconds, a defensive action can turn into an attack. In short, Bayern's system needed more than just a classic winger. It needed someone who breaks through, who forces the issue, who creates openings. And Díaz is exactly that player. And because he delivers, the whole machine, Bayern Munich's new style of play, runs more smoothly, faster and louder. Apart from numbers and playing style, one thing above all has changed at Bayern since the arrival of Luis Díaz: the psychology. The defenders of opposing teams now go into matches knowing that danger can arise on the flanks at any moment. And this knowledge changes everything. They drop back earlier. They defend deeper, double up faster. Each of these reactions gives Bayern an advantage even before the actual duel begins. The second crucial point: consistency. Díaz doesn't just deliver occasional moments of brilliance, he provides steady performances week after week. That is always the central question with a major transfer. Can a player maintain his impact over the long term? So far, everything points to Díaz being able to do just that. He regularly starts, he scores, he provides assists, and he consistently influences the game. It's precisely this reliability that turns a dangerous winger into an indispensable weapon. For Bayern, that's worth its weight in gold. For opposing defenses, it means sleepless nights. Of course, no player is perfect. Luis Díaz also has areas where he still needs to develop further. In order to fully integrate into Bayern Munich's system, he came from the Premier League, from an intense Liverpool system. Adapting to the tactical nuances of the Bundesliga and the demands of the Champions League takes time. There are situations where his decisions could be even clearer. When is the right moment to cross? When is it worth cutting inside and going for goal? And maintaining top form consistently over an entire season with multiple competitions is one of the most difficult tasks in modern football. But the early impressions speak in his favor. What truly sets Díaz apart is his mentality. He isn't satisfied with just being good. He wants to dominate. He wants to make his mark. He wants to decide games. With the support, with the structure and playing system of Bayern Munich behind him, his development potential seems enormous. Díaz is not finished. He's just getting started. Let's conclude with the most important insight. Luis Díaz is not just another new signing for Bayern. He is a catalyst. Thanks to him, Bayern can attack from new angles. Bayern can now use width and speed in a way that wasn't possible before. Now Bayern has a winger who can finish and create chances at the highest level. Bayern has gained unpredictability, exactly what elite teams need to win in Europe. In the 2025 to 2026 season, Bayern is not just a favorite, but actually seems even stronger. And Díaz is a key reason for that. His arrival means that Bayern isn't just getting better, they're shifting into a higher gear. Opponents should beware. Because when Díaz is in top form, when the crosses come in, when the runs are perfectly timed, Bayern looks unstoppable. And then it becomes clear, this team is playing on a completely different level. So there you have it. Luis Díaz. An expensive transfer, immediate impact, tactical improvement, magical moments, and a major psychological shift. FC Bayern Munich may have won the championship many times before, but this season feels different. With Díaz on the team, they're not just defending titles, they're striving for dominance. If you enjoyed this analysis, then like, subscribe, and share this video with your football friends. And leave a comment below. Which statistic or goal from Díaz this season will you remember, even 5 years from now? Because if Bayern is successful this year, Díaz will be remembered as the catalyst who made it possible. Until next time, watch closely. because this Bundesliga season has just become a lot more exciting